Hello, it's Dr. Joseph Aiello from San Diego Center for Integrative Medicine, and today I want to talk about methylation, anxiety, and hormones and PMS, and why methylation is critical to helping people that have anxiety and irritability with PMS and where the hormones are involved with that. So today we're going to be using the pathway planner that Dr. Ben Lynch has created because it has the metabolic and the biochemical processes that we deal with. And when we talk about the methylation and the different processes that methylation is involved with. Methylation, when I talk to patients, I tell them methylation is involved with energy production, brain function, making neurotransmitters and breaking them down, and we'll show you that. It's involved with detox from the liver, it's involved with hormone production, and it's involved with your immune system functioning well. So it's involved with all kinds of areas that are critical to normal function. So initially, I want to show you what the methylation process is. It's this circle here, and this is the methylation pathway, where the methyl B12 and the methylcobalamin, the methyl B12 and the methylfolate are consumed and used and remade. This pathway is involved with creating glutathione for detoxification, and very importantly, this pathway is involved with making neurotransmitters. If this pathway is not functioning well, you can't make neurotransmitters. And that's why a lot of people that have methylation issues have anxiety and have depression, because they're not making enough serotonin and they're not breaking down their dopamine and adrenaline well. So let me give you an example. Right here, we're going to look at the methylfolate needs to be produced or consumed to be able to make neurotransmitters. These are the neurotransmitters. You can see here we have tyrosine, which becomes dopa, which becomes dopamine. Dopamine becomes epinephrine and norepinephrine. That's what helps you to focus and makes you energetic, but it also makes you anxious if there's too much of it. Here we have tryptophan. People know it as 5-HTP. 5-HTP becomes serotonin. Serotonin is what's involved with calming people down, and it's an antidepressant. So it uplifts people. So how does this work? If people are not methylating, then they are not producing enough of the what's called biopterin, which comes from this pathway, to make their neurotransmitters. More importantly as well is they need to eat protein, because protein is needed to digest and get these amino acids, which are phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, and arginine. These are all gotten from protein. So if you're not eating protein 3 times a day, you're not getting enough of the basic building blocks for neurotransmitters, which are these amino acids. So now I wanted to talk to you about where does PMS come in, and the anxiety and irritability from that, and hormones. Well, if you follow the pathway for dopamine, and you take tyrosine, you make dopa, and you make dopamine. This is excitatory. It becomes adrenaline. Well, the adrenaline has to somehow be broken down and gotten rid of. And this is where people have an issue, because there's an enzyme called the COMT enzyme, the COMT. This enzyme actually breaks down epinephrine. If there's too much dopamine and epinephrine made because all of a sudden you're in a stressful, anxious situation, then a normal person with normal functioning methylation will break down that dopamine after an appropriate time, and they'll calm down. People that have a dysfunction of this pathway and they don't make enough of what's called SAMe, they don't make enough of this enzyme, COMT, doesn't function well. And the way I describe it is the sink fills up with a bunch of dopamine and epinephrine, but the drain is clogged and it just keeps building up and it can't drain out. So what we look at is increasing a person's methylation will create more SAMe. We give them magnesium, and it helps the COMT enzyme to work better, and it drains out the epinephrine and the dopamine.